This is unethical. It's also not financial advice. And honestly, I believe if we all do this together and stop paying, we may crash the economy. And as a millennial, maybe I'm looking forward to it because daddy needs a house. And I have a few ways to do this. The first way is if you know you can't pay the stuff back, but you still have decent credit. First, I take out no more than 2 personal loans to see how much money I can get. Apply to 2 in a day and pay your student loans with that money. Now, if you apply to more than that, that might trigger the fraud detection system and you might not get that money. You can also apply for no more than 2 credit cards in a day. Run them up buying things like electronics, stuff you can sell on eBay, and then sell all the stuff for cash. You can use that to lower your student loans, and then you can file for bankruptcy because credit cards and personal loans can be forgiven. Or maybe you don't pay your student loans at all and you take that money and move to a new country and start fresh, because if you file bankruptcy, you still gotta go to bankruptcy court. So maybe you stash the money until that's over. Honestly, I'm not sure what the judge will say or if this will even work, but it's worth a try to avoid getting your wages garnished. And I know what you're thinking. You need credit for a house. But hey, fuckface, if student loans messes up your credit, you won't be able to buy a house anyway. This next advice will only let you kick the can down the road for a little while longer, and that's refinancing it with a private loan company like Linkey, SoFi, and some of the other people. Now you lose federal protection, like if the government decides to defer your student loans for years. But Trump's in office, so I doubt that's gonna happen while he's here. And once you get a new loan servicer, you can ask them for forbearance. And then after the forbearance is up, you can just refinance it again to another lender. I think. I'm not even 100% sure, I'm not gonna lie to you. But if it does work, come back to this video later on and let me know in the comments, because I'm just coming up with these solutions as we go along. Honestly, at first, I thought you could just not pay them back at all once you refinance it. But then I did some research, and according to my research, they can also take you to court, and eventually they can also garnish your wages. But hopefully by then, you're making more money, or you're living in Canada or Africa. Out there, you can start a whole new life, or you can just stay here and get paid off the books. Here are some jobs for that: babysitting, elderly care, dog walking, pet sitting, house cleaning, yard work and lawn care, moving help, snow shoveling. You could be a handyman doing light repairs or car detailing or small mechanic work. What if you painted a house or assembled furniture? Maybe you're into hair. Why don't you become a barber or be a hair braider, makeup artist, lash tech, nail tech, massage therapist? Just Google it, you'll find stuff. You can also start a business and pay yourself a salary. A business is a separate entity, especially once you establish the LLC. So you can build the business credit up as well once you start making money. And while your business is making money, you can pay yourself a salary. Let's say $10,000 a year. And the government, if they're gonna take 15%, they can garnish 15% of $10,000 and keep the change. And this last one, I personally used myself, and that was go back to school. You don't pay student loans while you're in school. Now you're still getting hit with interest, but you're not paying for student loans. And you can go back and get a master's degree, become a doctor, a lawyer, and by then you'll probably be able to afford your student loans. Probably not. But listen, when you get ready to go back to school, look for cheap community colleges or online colleges. I did my master's degree online. I took 1 class every quarter, and before I knew it, 3 years had passed by. Honestly, I didn't even realize I was graduating until my mom asked me when I was graduating, and that was in April, and I was like, oh shit, this June. But me accidentally getting my MBA was a blessing because it allowed me to make way more money. And speaking of money, previously I said you should take out credit cards, and if you're gonna do this, do it to the 3 worst banks in America. Trust me, they deserve it. So check this video out to see which ones I'm talking about.